Welcome to the Rural Dispatch, the podcast delivering stories from rural America. I'm your host, Allie Behrens. Headquartered in rural Iowa, I help run a nationwide livestock transportation company, and I'm here to bring you stories from the people who help shape this industry and our rural communities. Whether you're a trucker, livestock producer, or rural entrepreneur, this show is for you. Each week, we explore the realities of rural business life, from the highways to the fields and everything in between. So buckle up and let's dive into today's episode.
You got a line?
I got a line for you.
You gonna open with it?
Yeah.
All right, hit it.
You're in good company here. You like it?
Yeah, that was not what I was. I don't know what I was expecting, but it wasn't that. You're in good company here.
You're only as good as the company you keep. Isn't that a saying?
I don't know. I mean, the only saying I really know is takes a big dog to weigh a ton.
You really like that one today.
I do. I just had to tell Ridge that because Ridge is to the point where he just has to tell you everything. He's like, Dad, did you know escalators and elevators use pulleys? Did you know sharks can breathe underwater? Oh, did you know flies' feet are sticky so that's how they stick to the ceiling?
Oh, yeah. And here's the thing. I don't know if it's true or not.
I don't either. But so this morning I hit him with, well, Ridge, did you know it takes a big dog to weigh a ton? And then we were pulling into church and I feel like he was glad that he didn't have to discuss that.
Yeah. He's like, hey, I'm supposed to be the smartest one in this car. I'm the one with the brain busters, not you, guy.
You're here to listen, not speak.
Stay in your lane.
Well, welcome. It's May.
May is beef month.
May is beef month. Where's the beef?
May's a busy month. There's just a lot going on in May. Graduations. Birthdays.
A lot of graduations. It is graduation time.
Late calvers.
Yep.
I don't know that we've really discussed the whole baby calf thing on the podcast. It gets shared a lot on social media because, that's my baby in this business.
You hear that one outside right now?
Yeah, that's why I brought it up.
Gotcha.
Because they're just out there bawling their asses off.
That red one's got to be hungry.
Well, it didn't take a bottle. Okay. I don't know what it is about red calves, but it's like they're born with the will to die. I can't stand them. They can look like a good calf. They're going to be a pain in the ass.
Redheads and females.
Like a nice black bull calf. I can get along with that guy all day long. These little heifers.
Yeah.
Red calves.
I don't understand. We've just been...
I've been struggling.
Struggling with the red ones. So what have we been up to? Oh, well, May was my birthday.
Yeah.
We went to Kansas City.
We did. We went to Kansas City for the weekend. We ate some really good meals. And this is one thing I want to talk. I want to talk about beef a little bit because it's got a whole month, so we might as well take advantage of it.
Okay.
It's a podcast topic now.
Let's do it.
We went to Stock Hill.
Stock Hill. Was top notch.
It was wonderful. But both restaurants we went to both nights had a pretty extensive Wagyu selection. But the first one we went to had a Wagyu flight. Okay, so you got, I think it was 3 or 4 ounces of a Wagyu steak from the U.S., Australia, and Japan.
Yep.
This is my first Wagyu experience, by the way. The difference was unreal.
See, it was. I thought the Japanese, it was just it was so rich. It's just like you stuck it in your mouth and I don't know. I mean, I want to say melted, but just the texture, it
sort of did. But yeah, there was no bite to it. You didn't have to chew it.
Yeah, there was no grit.
I don't know. Like you said, I like to chew my steak.
Yeah, a little bit.
I kind of liked it. I would probably order an A5 Wagyu and spend the money versus an Australian or American option. The difference was that I didn't notice a difference between American and Australian.
It was good.
It was. I just thought it was super interesting. Well, I mean, we're used to good steaks around here. We eat a lot of home-raised steaks.
Yep. I don't know, but going to them restaurants, like that one is one of those where people be like, well, I can make that at home. Not this steak, you can't.
No.
There's just something about it. They just, like, they have it seared perfectly, and they're just so juicy. I don't know. Now you pay for them, but this is why you do it like once a year.
Right.
You know, it's not something you're doing every other weekend by any means. I think both nights we had, Jesus, did we have a $500 bill?
Both nights.
Both
easy.
nights.
Yeah.
But it was good. And then, so that was Stock Hill the first night.
Mm-hmm.
The second night we went to 1587.
Yep, 1587 Prime.
Yep.
Which anybody who pays attention to
Kansas City Chiefs.
That's Travis Kelce and Patrick Mahomes' restaurant. And it was fine. I think it's just hyped up more than it needs to be.
Yep. I mean, the place was cool. I mean, like marble steps and...
It was very nice. It was a great experience. Just if you want a really good meal, probably choose somewhere else.
Yep. I'm glad we went. I would not go back.
For the price point, I'll say.
Yep.
If it were maybe a little bit cheaper.
True. Touche.
I wouldn't have any qualms about it, but.
Nope. You're absolutely right. Touche.
All in all, good weekend, though. Smoke's birthday and my little sister's birthday are a day apart. So my sister's birthday was Friday. Smoke's birthday was Saturday. We went down, the four of us.
The four of us meaning her sister and her husband. In case you were adding that up.
I came across this Kansas State Penitentiary tour.
Right. Well, I'm the type of guy, she's like, well, what do you want to do? I was like, give me some options. Because she's really good at putting stuff together. So I'm like, give me some options. I'll tell you what I want to do. And yeah, you came across Kansas State Penitentiary tour.
For Saturday morning. So, and my brother-in-law is also a sheriff's deputy. So I was like, this is probably up his alley. My sister, maybe not so much, but you know what? You got to share your birthday weekend. So that's what we all did Saturday morning. And we really enjoyed that. It was freaking cool.
Yeah, it was about a 3-hour tour.
Yeah.
That was awesome. I mean, that was a lot of walking.
Yeah, that place is huge. I mean, they could hold, 2,300 inmates?
Yeah.
I mean, it was like its own little city.
Yeah.
Wild. And then Saturday afternoon, we went and got massages. I booked these a week ahead of time. So to get 4 people a massage at the same time a week in advance was a little tricky. So some members of the party had to make sacrifices. And it wasn't going to be me. And it wasn't going to be one of the birthday.
Jake, poor Jake.
It was,
got stuck in like the commons room almost.
So they had this open room. Smoke goes back first. He goes to his own room, gets his massage. Me and my sister did not a couple's massage, but we were in the same room together. We got the same package. So we go to our room, and then there's Jake, last man standing. He goes into this big open room with other people. There's probably 10?
Yeah, I suppose. 8,
Beds
10.
Beds in there?
Yeah.
They tell him, go ahead, take your shirt off. Right here? Yeah, right here. So he does. He's laying there without a shirt, getting rubbed down, just making eye contact with the guy.
The guy across from him. Oh, man.
Oh, I never laughed so hard.
I think the funniest part about it is because if you know Jake, his personality's perfect for it. Oh, yeah.
And I didn't want him to be mad at me the rest of the weekend, so I just had to pretend like I had no idea that was going to happen to him.
So that was a good weekend away. I'll say that.
What's your favorite steak to order? Or to cook at home?
I think New York strip. You know, I used to be a big ribeye guy.
Yeah,
Like,
you were.
hands down,
It was always a ribeye.
go to the restaurant, order a ribeye. I don't know what got me hooked on a New York strip. I'm not sure, but man, I think I would order a New York strip over a ribeye. I'm definitely not opposed to a ribeye by any means. I mean, but I also love a tomahawk.
What is it just because it's big?
I feel like it, I mean, probably because it's big, but I do feel like it is more tender.
Oh, maybe the bone.
Yeah.
More flavor. I'm almost always going to order a filet when we're out.
Yep, you
but
are.
That's because we don't have fillets in the freezer.
Yeah.
Like, we will cook
You always order a filet.
I do. It's my favorite.
You love a filet.
I do. But I do like a strip at home. I think that's my favorite.
We have almost a whole case of New York strips left from our wedding. And they are almost like...
They're steak
sandwich thin.
And we made steak sandwiches the other night, and they were delicious.
They were. They were. I mean, but they're just almost just a little bit too thin just for having a regular steak, which, I mean, that's how we almost eat them every time. God damn it. They're still good, though.
I wish I could have my sister here because she was grilling you about your cattle business.
Oh.
And she was asking very basic questions, and I'm sitting in the back seat thinking this whole time, like, oh, people probably don't know this stuff. Like, why would they? Like, why are you paying so much for cattle?
Well, because we're addicted.
We're addicted, yeah.
Well. That's why. Because we think we have to have them. And I don't know why we're paying so much. I mean, demand. Supply, yeah. I guess, first off.
But then she says, well, then how do you know that you can sell them for enough money to make a profit?
And I said, you don't.
We don't. Especially the cows.
I mean, depending upon how long you're on feed, you don't know if they're going to make money until you sell them. That's just the risk you got to take. There's always this like little meme or voiceover deal that pops up on my Facebook and TikTok. And it's some old guy on a podcast saying, well, if you can't go to bed $2 million in debt, you're in the wrong business. And I always think to myself, $2 million in debt probably 20 years ago would have covered it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, $2 million's not getting you, that's not getting you super far anymore. But I always think of that guy. If you can't go to bed $2 million in debt, you're probably in the wrong business. But yeah, I mean, she did ask a lot of good questions. Definitely. Yeah, she's like, how do you know you're going to make money? It's like, well, you don't for 200 days until you sell them. And then just hope for the best.
But, I mean, that brings you back to people think that these beef producers are making all this money right now because cattle prices are so high, and you hear about it everywhere. But I kind of want to talk about the supply chain and who's actually making money, because I think right now, at least, it's the retailer making money on beef, not necessarily the producer or the packer.
Well, okay. This is crazy. We had some beef loins offered to us. And I mean, the loins from the plant, the box beef is like, the box beef itself is cheap right now. It is crazy how cheap the box beef is. Once it hits the retailer in the store is when it gets expensive, I feel like. I'm not a big packer guy. I would never stick up for a packer, but I think they are having to do all they can do to keep their head above water with what they're paying for cattle and what the box beef price is. I mean, the spread is too wide right now.
So the U.S. beef herd is at an all-time low. That creates a low supply. supply and demand. We all know how this works.
The cow-calf guy, he's doing fairly okay right now because the calves are worth decent money. We're a crapshoot. We hope for the best. The finishers.
Right.
In 200 days. I mean, we feed them corn for 200 days. We try and market them the best we can in that week or two that we have to sell them. Goes to the packer. I don't even know.
Who knows what happens there?
Who knows?
They're making money. I doubt they're losing money.
Right. Who knows what happens there? I do know their job is tough, though, too. I mean, they have to try and sell every piece of that animal to make it work.
Which I learned recently. I mean, within the last couple years anyways, like, the blood doesn't just go down the drain. Like, they dry it and ship it out. Every single piece of that animal, they do something with. So it's not just the meat.
Yep.
And I think a lot of times that's what the packers are making money on, or how they're making it work, because it's not just the meat. That's where I think some of these direct to consumers have trouble, because you're not selling the bones. There's a whole large percentage of that animal that's not being sold.
Yep. Absolutely.
So
that you're not utilizing.
Total side note. But I think all of this to say, you don't really see the price at the grocery store change that much, because there are so many steps in this process before meat gets to the consumer. Like, everybody's just taking turns making their money. So if the grocery store sees that they can keep prices the same and make money, they're never going to lower the price.
Yes, right. Absolutely.
But okay, speaking of this, maybe not speaking of this, this might be a completely different topic, but I don't know if I've just been paying closer attention this year, but it seems to me like a lot more baby calves are going to the sale barn than have in previous years.
I will agree with that. Did you see if they claimed up in like Platte, South Dakota? They had like 1,000 baby calves last week.
Baby calves, and these are not weaned calves, which is completely different.
No, these are like week-old.
Yes,
baby calves. And then yesterday on the load board, there was a guy that posted a load on the load board from Erickson, Nebraska to Syracuse, Kansas, and in the memo it said baby calves. So it was a load of baby calves.
Okay, great time to be a calf ranch.
But somebody had told me, and take this for what it's worth, I have no idea if there's any truth to this at all. Rumor mill. But some of these cow-calf guys, they're calving, keeping the calves for a week or so, week, 2 weeks, whatever, not very long, bringing them to the sale barn, selling the calf, getting their $1,700, $1,800, $1,900, whatever it is, never pulling the bull out of the pasture. So the faster they get rid of the calf, the faster the cow goes back in heat.
Just bring them back quicker.
I mean, it makes sense. Irregardless, pile of baby calves. A lot of this, the drought in this entire country, the drought is crazy. There is no water. These sales out west, like Ogallala, North Platte, Jesus, last week I think they said Torrington had 9,000 between cows and pairs out there. One sale for the week, 9,000 cows and pairs. I don't think that was their feeder sale. Part of their feeder sale anyway. But they claim the cow sales out in western Nebraska and out that way are just going to be crazy coming up here in the next couple weeks. Just people are just they have to get rid of their animals. There's no grass left. No grass, no water. They're already going through, their allotted irrigation gallons, and it's the middle of May. Another rumor I had heard, a guy had already used 80% of his allotted irrigation for the year already. And it's like, It's the middle of May.
Right.
He's going to go through that by the end of the month. It just...
There's an easier way to handle your bookkeeping. QuickBooks Online automates the busy work, connects all of your financial data in one place, and gives you real-time insights tailored to your business. If you're still juggling spreadsheets or using disconnected tools, there's a better way. QuickBooks Online helps bring everything into one spot so you always know where your business stands. Our listeners can get up to 50% off your first 3 months when you use the link in our show notes. Check it out and get started today. There's a lot of variables that you don't think about.
Right.
Even us being on the finishing side, like, we don't think about a lot of times what that cow-calf producer's going through, what challenges they're facing either. Everybody's just focused on their own troubles, but there's a lot that goes into it.
Yep.
But we haul them all, and they're all expensive. And I think that obviously transportation is a critical piece of the supply chain. We move them in, we move them out. We touch them pretty much between every stage.
Exactly.
As producers ourselves, I think we understand that inputs are high, the cost of cattle are high, but from the trucking side of our business perspective, fuel is higher, our costs are higher, we have to raise rates. Are you seeing much pushback from guys?
No.
They get it.
Yeah. Literally they get it. Nobody's saying anything. We were all kind of hoping maybe it was going to change, but it's not gonna. I don't know. I was watching the news this morning too, and they were saying something about that stupid Strait of Hormuz or whatever. And I'm like, I am so sick of hearing about this Hormuz deal. We didn't even know what the Strait of Hormuz was until gas jumped $2 a gallon. Like, now all of a sudden we're goddamn experts on the Strait of Hormuz.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, no, we don't even care. We don't care about it. Just bring the gas back down. Take a fucking detour. Set up a couple detour signs. Tell them you can't go this way.
I don't think that's how it works.
Well, goddamn it. I think the most frustrating part is crude oil is not as expensive as it should be, according, to the pump price.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the frustrating part.
It's frustrating. I mean, all parts of our business, we're kind of price takers. We don't really get to determine much.
Right. Yeah, we are. I went through this with a little smaller packing house I hauled for last week. This is how I started my Monday last week. I had a guy haul a load of cows into a plant. Told him, leave a trucking bill for this amount. 7 o'clock the next morning. Is that really what you're going to charge? I guess, yeah. That's what I had to leave a bill for. My God, how can you charge that? I said, well, listen, you don't have to pay that, but we're never going to have to go through this again. Like, you don't have to pay that full trucking bill, but just we'll never have to deal with this again. So I guess maybe we are to the point where maybe people need to tell a trucker, like, this is what I'm willing to pay you. And then they decide whether they can do it or not. Like, instead of us leaving a bill and then paying it.
Like, we're just going to quote you up front.
Being upset. It's maybe one of them deals. It's like, well, okay, here's what I'm willing to pay you to do this piece of shit load.
And I'm going to pass on it.
And I'm going to pass.
Well, one positive thing for us, and this applies to all trucks, which the livestock guys are lobbying for it, but the higher interstate weights, raising that limit to, what is it, 91,000? Current weight limit for commercial vehicles on the interstate is 80,000 pounds.
That's a federal law.
Federal law. And that has not changed in
80,000 pounds on the interstate systems. Some states you can buy a permit, but if you don't have a permit, it's still just 80,000.
Right. But yeah, as soon as you cross state lines, better hop off the interstate.
Okay, say you're coming out of Nebraska into Iowa, Nebraska, we have the overweight permit to run the interstate in Nebraska. But then you get to Iowa, and Iowa they don't have a permit to run the interstate. So you're supposed to get off and get on 2 lanes, I guess. You know what? I'm not even mad. I tell you what I'm most mad about, and this only applies to local people, but like when we haul fat cattle into Omaha from Carroll, you have to go through like 172 stoplights.
Yeah.
To get to the plant.
I think my biggest pet peeve is stoplights and council bluffs.
And it is inevitable. You are going to get a stoplight ticket in the mail in like a month. It's like, I'll text her and be like, oh, hey, I seen it flash. Be watching for a stoplight ticket.
And I have gone through I'm truly so excited for this to hopefully go through so that these guys can run on the interstate, because these stoplight tickets are like the bane of my existence. We get 1 or 2 a month. I swear it's $100, so it's not that big of a deal. The $100 is not the big deal. It's the fact that these loaded livestock trucks knowingly have to run these red lights in town where there's traffic and people who don't know how to drive around loaded trucks in general.
I mean, it is so dangerous going through all them stoplights because we can't stop. You know, the cars that are sitting at the red light, they're only watching for a green light. So as soon as they see it turn green, you know, they're not watching for a truck to potentially be coming through a red light. They're just, that is so stupid having to go through all them stoplights. That is just ridiculous.
It is. Okay, back to the ticket, though. Side note, this is another thing that Jake mentioned on our birthday weekend. He said since we do not live in Pot County, we could just not pay those tickets. And he's a sheriff, so I'm taking his word for it. I don't know.
Really? You're going to throw him under the bus like that, huh?
I'm gonna put it out there. I'm probably still going to pay the ticket. I don't really want to take my chances, but allegedly, they can't do anything about it because it doesn't go on your record.
Other than that, trucking's been okay, though. I mean, we're moving anyway, which helps.
What's the worst part about feeding cattle?
Inclement weather.
Yeah.
And I would say, what was it, 3 or 4 years ago where there was like a 2-week long stretch where I don't remember the temps, but I mean, do you remember there was just every feedlot,
the
heat was just killing the cattle.
Yeah.
That's a pretty core memory of how many deads we had.
Yeah.
In that couple week span.
That was tough. I would rather, I don't know. One memory that sticks out is that one blizzard we had.
Mm-hmm.
You came in and literally everything on you was frozen. Eyelashes, mustache, everything. Everything. Eyebrows. If you've been around, you've heard us talk about it. Life Rolls On is more than just a truck show. It's a weekend built around community and supporting a great cause. Whether you're a driver, industry supporter, or just enjoy trucks, there's something for everyone. Make plans to attend the Life Rolls On Truck Show June 19th and 20th at the Tyson Events Center in Sioux City, Iowa. Check out the link in our show notes for more details. We'll see you there.
Yeah. I think that's probably the hardest part is just the weather. I mean, when the weather's good, feeding cattle, especially outside.
Oh, yeah.
Is fun. But you get any sort of weather, I don't know. But like I said, I think the heat is probably worse than a snowstorm. I mean, they're not going to gain any weight, when it's 0 degrees out and 2 foot of snow.
But they're not really going to die either.
Right.
They don't get too cold, generally.
Yeah, but they're not going to die.
I mean, different story if you're calving, dealing with babies, but we're talking
in the
fat cattle. So, see, different perspectives each step of the way.
Yep.
What isn't so bad for one guy is going to be detrimental to the next.
Right. Yeah, this is not a one-size-fits-all
business at all.
No, it takes everybody.
So we've had quite a few feedlot calves this year, and recently we've lost 2, which you can just tell some of these calves from like day one that they're probably not going to make it. They're just poor doers. And part of that is probably
from being a feedlot
calf. I mean, these moms are not being fed we don't know that they are with calf.
Yep.
So we do what we can. But my mom was asking me the other day, I was telling her about it, and she said, "Does that bother you?" I said, "Well, yeah, it bothers me, but I think what bothers me more is that there's nothing really I can do about it. Like, I know, I have a feeling that they're gonna not make it. Meanwhile, I am being the optimist, giving it all the calf perk and the boost and the bottles and tubing it and doing all the things and knowing that it's still probably not gonna make it. I don't know."
Yeah, well, the other thing that sucks is when it lives for like a week.
Right.
And you're like, I think this little guy might come around.
You get your hopes up.
You're like, I think he's doing okay. He took another full bottle. And then all of a sudden the next morning, it's like, oh, come on, buddy. I thought you were doing all right.
Yeah. I think that's the part that sucks for me. And I don't know. Like, we have a little preemie right now. And I've already told you like 3 times, he's not going to make it. I've told the boys he's probably not going to make it. And I was talking to Tracy earlier, your stepdad, and he feeds cattle for us. And he helps out at the vet quite a bit. And he goes, "Oh, he'll be all right." I'm like, "Don't tell me that. You're going to get my hopes up." He is doing good, though.
Somehow.
He's a spunky little guy. He's little, though, like 20 pounds.
Oh, I don't know how big he is, but he's tiny.
And his little fur he's just like velvet.
Mm-hmm.
Just doesn't even hardly have a coat of hair on him.
Yeah, he's a small little feller, for sure.
But cute. I mean, I tell you what, calves are a handful.
Every night it's like, we get up from the supper table, and we're all hunched over. Oh my God.
They just beat the shit out of you.
We thought this would get easier.
You get done with a bottle, and then they just headbutt you until you get out of the pen. I mean, there's no mercy. And a couple of these are biting. They bite your kneecaps and the backs of your legs. Ugh. And it's warming up, so then the flies are biting too.
Ah, yes.
And I probably look like a crazy person out there. I just about lose my shit.
Hopefully we're having a few more opens.
Yeah, I hope so. I'm tired. Best part of the industry.
There's just, I don't even know. I mean, it's an addiction. There's some sort of rush about feeding cattle and hauling them for that. I don't know. It's just a feeling that's hard to explain, but there's just some sort of rush to it. I don't know what the best part is. I mean, there's just something about it, I guess.
It's really fun when you're making money.
Yeah. Yeah, no shit. Yes. Yep. It is really fun.
It makes the hard shit kind of worth it.
Yep.
Now, you got to kind of be optimistic about it. You got to see the good, because even on the trucking side, there's a lot of things in a day that could really get you down. And to be clear, everyone, I'm not a trucker, and I do not enjoy the trucks like Smoke does. And at least once a week, I say, can we just sell everything and be done with this shit? Because I hate it. And I don't know how you do it, but you must love it.
It's like anything. When it goes good, it's fun. When it's not going good, it's not that much fun. When you're making money, it's fun. When you're not, it's not that much fun. I mean, it's just the same as every other job, I guess. But they are definitely making it harder to make money. I will say that.
What gives you hope for the future of the industry, livestock hauling industry?
I think probably what gives me a little bit of hope is that they're still out there fighting for the livestock haulers, I guess. Example, that article. I mean, they're still fighting for our weight limits. They're still fighting for our exemptions, our egg exemptions. There is people out there still fighting for the industry. I don't know if we want to put this on here or not, but I mean, with what it's costing to move them these days, it's going to get to the point we can't afford to move them cross country anyway. So hours of service might not even matter because we literally can't. We are to the point where you can't afford to.
Everything's just going to be regional.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost to the point we are pricing ourselves out of a job, and not because of us. I mean, just because of the rising costs of everything. It's my personal opinion. I mean, and you've already seen it in the last 5 to 7 years, I suppose. The amount of long haul freight is really slowed down.
For sure. There's a lot of variables.
Yeah. And in the next month, I don't know. We'll have to see what happens in the next month as far as liquidations of ranches out west. And I think we're going to see a lot of liquidation of more cows. The industry in a whole is just hurting as far as numbers go. It just sucks, I guess. Really does.
Just got to fight for the little guy.
Yeah, hopefully there's a lot of little guys that want to calve like 10 or 15 cows.
Mm-hmm.
Because
listen.
The big guys.
Just don't get too big for your britches. You've never calved cows before. And not so much cows, but heifers. How many heifers did you buy that one time you thought you were going to calve out?
I don't remember. It's like 20-some.
20's too many.
Well, it was for me because I didn't know what the fuck I was doing. I mean, it should have started with cows first.
Cows, yeah. Get that down and then move on to heifers.
Yeah.
All right. You got anything else?
I don't think so right now. Oh, man.
If you want to chat, shoot us an email or just give us a call. We're around, I think.
Yeah. Usually.
And we'll be at the Life Rolls On Truck Show June 19th, 20th.
Yep. So if you want to come up and visit us and chat with us there.
Tell some stories.
Absolutely.
All right. That's all we got.
See you in 2 weeks.
Thanks for tuning in to this episode of the Rural Dispatch. I hope you found something valuable to take back to your own operation. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend. You can keep up with me between episodes on socials at Barons & Co. or join our email list on our website to get new episodes delivered straight to your inbox every Wednesday. Until next time, keep those wheels turning. We'll talk soon. I want to share something we've recently started using, a new app called Beef Hub. It was built by cattle haulers for cattle haulers, and it's full of the info you actually want and need as a driver. They're constantly updating it with the most current details for the places that we go every day. If you're in this line of work, it's worth checking out. Use my referral code RURAL when you sign up and let us know what you think.